Hello, Braves country. This is Coach Ken Anderson coming to you for Hardcore Braves, and got my main man Ryan here tonight. How you doing, Ryan?
Can't complain too much. I can complain. I always can complain, but can't complain too much, man. The boys really a dog fight. Got a dog fight in this weekend, or not this weekend, but during the week for the series win. It was hard fought, and the boys pulled through, and can't be more happier than another series win, man. We haven't lost one yet, so can't be too mad.
Yeah, we're the only team in MLB that hasn't lost a series. Hopefully, we'll keep that up a little longer. We're making some distance in the National League East, and we have a chance to increase in that. We have National League East opponents coming in the next three series. The series went as we kind of thought it was going to go, Ryan. When we previewed it, game one, we knew it was going to be very tough. We got a break. Yuri didn't have his best stuff, but neither did Mr. Holmes. He did well in his first three innings, and fourth inning, his pinpoint come unglued, and he just couldn't find the strike zone. I mean, he was spiking sliders, and his fastball was tailing on him like he doesn't like, and it was a tough watch for to watch Grant because Grant has really pitched well this year, but it happens. Anything underlying and Grant just kind of falling apart in the fourth inning and allowing the Marlins to get up on us.
I honestly think that he was just working way too fast. I think I've noticed Grant when he is throwing the ball well, he's kind of calm, cool. And now he still works at a pretty good clip, right? But when he's not throwing well, it's almost like hyper speed when he's out there on the mound. I think when he gets in those situations, he really needs to slow down a little bit and slow the game down because I think it has the tendency to speed up on him a little bit, and that's where the game starts getting away from him. What'd you see?
Yeah, he tends to do that. He's a fast worker anyhow, and when you're a fast worker, you definitely have to guard against getting too quick. Um, he he just tends to sometimes get into spots, and when he gets off on his slider, it's not even a competitive pitch, and that's what makes it tough. So it makes an easy take for him. The good news is that we did get back in the game and tied it 3-3, and then we get to what I call this between this 5 and 8 in the bullpen, or maybe 6 to 8. It's just hard to hold on. So we tried out Bummer, Munoz, and Suarez, and none of it was good. And I'm going to make a statement. I'll let you go on those three. I don't think Bummer really can help. I kind of wonder if he's not hurt or if he's just at the tail end of his career. His velocity is way down. His movement is sporadic at best. I know why he's here. I believe if he was a 1 million or 900,000 a year guy, he would have been cut already. I think it makes it difficult for the organization, but it's going to be some serious questions going forward. Munoz, before he even pitched the pitch, I got into it with Twitter. A couple of people have told him, yeah, I look at him as a quad A guy, one of these guys who can really throw lights out in AAA. But every time he comes up into the major leagues, I think it's maybe the stage is a little bit too big for him. Suarez actually pitched best of the three. He was still shaky. My feelings on Jose. I don't think he's anything but a mop up guy. So those three in general, the game got away from us. We lost 10-4. What are your thoughts on the 6 through 8 guys, Bummer, Munoz, and Suarez in this game?
Well, if I had to rank, it'd be your exact rankings. And I'll be honest with you, Ken. Aaron Bummer is lucky he doesn't have an infinite ERA at this point of the year. Like, his stuff is, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but his stuff won't even play well at AAA over the full course of a year. Aaron Bummer would be your men's league ace right now. He is just not a major league pitcher. His breaking balls don't have good spin on them anymore. They don't break anymore, and if they do, they break over the middle of the plate. I remember vividly in the Cleveland series that he came in to face Manzardo to get out of the bases loaded jam, which he did, but he threw it right down the middle, and Manzardo was pissed that he missed that pitch because that probably changes the course of the game and the entire series if he gives up that home run right there. I don't think Bummer should be on this team at all. I understand that he's making $9 million, but I'd rather have $9 million that is off the roster and not costing me games than $9 million on the roster costing me games, because I don't feel confident with him even facing left-handed hitters, and that's what he's supposed to be, a left-handed specialist. And I don't think he can do the job anymore. I think he is completely washed, and I would rather him have gotten DFA'd than Beto. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that happened for this game is we optioned Dodd, and I was like, that was really confusing because I think Dylan deserves to be up here. But then when you heard after the game that Walt already knew that Grant was going to be on kind of a short leash because they thought he has really exerted himself this year, which he has. If you look at his numbers, Grant has thrown quite a bit for him, especially coming off of an off season where we weren't even sure if he was going to make the team because of some damage in his UCL. So it made the Dodd option make more sense. Just there's just not a lot of ways to go. But with that said, we get to the bottom of the sixth. We have the bases loaded, and I couldn't ask for a better person to come up to get us back in the game. I think the game was 6-3 at the time. Drake comes up and he hits a ground ball to second. And I just felt like the team, the fans, and all of us in general, when that went awry, knowing what we had to get to the rest of the game, I think Walt managed it well. Not to use any of his big four in this game because it was going to be hard to get back in this game. And, and so I think that was where the air come out of the balloon and we got beat 10-4. Was that the same kind of feeling that when Drake had the bases loaded and hit the ball hard, but hit right at the second baseman, that it felt like, oh, this is not going to be one of our nights?
Yeah, I think if you're Walt in that situation, right, when you tied it up 3-3, you go back down 6-3, you're like, all right, if the guys come back a little bit right here, we're gonna go to the bigger boys in the bullpen to try to keep the game close. But I think we got to 6-4 on a sac fly by Riley, but or something along those lines. I can't remember, but it's yeah. I mean, that was the moment where Walt had to make the decision: do I go for this game or do I save my bullets and go after the next two? And he said, I'm going to save my bullets, and he made the right decision.
Yeah, Walt has hammered these decisions, and we're now into 19 games, and you can't complain about really what he's done. He saved them, and we need him the next night. We'll know that when we get to game two. Uh, One good thing that come out of this game is Ronnie and Austin are really showing signs that they're getting better. And the next two games, they even show it even more. This offense could really rake if these two get going because the bottom of the order has been crushing it all year. And if Ronnie and Austin can get there when the bottom of the order will regress, we know that a little bit. And it'll be good when Ronnie and Austin finally get cranking up. And that was really the good thing we saw coming out of the game on Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's people are still complaining about Ronald. He is missing some fastballs. He's got a mechanical flaw that I may go into this weekend if I have time. But overall, they're both coming to life. Austin Riley, I think it was the first game. He had every at bat he had was good. He turned on 99. He was laying off sliders away. He's been doing that a whole lot more consistently. Arnold still has a little bit of trouble with the fastball here and there, but he's starting to come around to it. That both of their approaches look really good. They were off to a little bit of a slow start, but I mean, Austin Riley looks like he's about to go on a midseason tear right now. He looks that good at the plate for me.
Yeah, I agree. And so we lose 10-4. There's not really a lot to take. And one of the takes you can take away, I think Braves fans have a tendency not to really watch these teams as in depth as some of us do, us two including, and some of the other ones on social media. The Marlins are darn good. They are a pesky, darn good young
Very good.
baseball team, and they're going to beat a lot of people this year. They're going to be around 500, maybe even better. And I love their manager, their new manager. He comes out of the Dodgers organization, and the Dodgers and Braves have the best two organizations in baseball, and they usually, you know, give you guys who really know how to run the game. And I thought he managed a good series himself. But the Marlins are a good baseball team, aren't they?
Can I get a hot take right here for you?
Go ahead.
Marlins are going to finish second in the division if they stay healthy.
Well, me and you've been kind of on this already. I went on a Philadelphia show, and they were worried, and you can see why they were worried. The Mets can't get out of their own self. There's
They're
things to
reeling.
say
Oh
that
my god.
yeah, it almost looks like they're throwing ball games at this point. It's
Yeah,
not good.
it's
I think
bad.
Mendoza, and not to get too much off on another team, but I think Mendoza will get fired here soon if they don't turn it around the next week or so. So it's going to be interesting. Kind of wish we could get them right now, but yeah, I think you're right. I think the Marlins have a chance to sneak into that second place. We'll see. Phillies. I'm just not counting out the Phillies.
Still saying.
They got that championship blood. Wheeler does come back. Hopefully in the next week or so. Going to pitch in the major leagues, which makes me happy. I think should make all baseball fans happy. He does toe the rubber. So we'll see. So we get to game two. That good Marlins team is putting it on us again. I mean, they're
Oh yeah.
good, and we told you Max Meyer would be gritty and battle, and that's what he did. Max didn't have his best stuff, and neither did Reynaldo.
Nope.
Reynaldo, first two innings was very shaky, and I thought to myself, oh no, after Holmes gets tired, this is definitely what we not need. But one thing Reynaldo did is he buckled up like a number two starter should, and he pitched the third, fourth, and fifth fearless, and he pitched it well. And his pitching right there kept us in the game. What do you got to say about Raylo bucking down and giving us the 5 innings we needed to give ourselves a chance to win?
There's a lot of moments in this series you're like, wow, that saved the series. Like, I want Braves fans to understand we had no business winning this series. We had no business winning it, Ken. And they found a way to win it. Reynaldo didn't have his best stuff, and he still just laid himself out on the mound, if you catch my drift there, and pitched 5 solid innings. It wasn't great. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't 5 and he struck out 9 and he didn't give up a run. No, it was 5 innings where he had to grind to find his command and stuff. And he did. He saved the bullpen. He saved the offense and gave them a chance to come back and win this game. And it was everything that good teams do to win. And they did it because they had no business winning this game. They were down what 5-0 at one point or something like that. They had no business winning this game.
No, I tell you one thing too is Raylo really showed me a lot, and I think when you get off, I think Raylo is the starting pitcher because Raylo those first two he could have melted in, and
100%.
those last 3 innings he really showed everybody. Again, he got us to, Walt said he had to make a decision. He made the right decision, so he gets in. He gets the big four in there. Lee had his best stuff of the year, which was really nice to see. Velocity up a little bit, and he threw well. Suarez started off well. He had his first shaky, give up his first run, a little shaky, but we can't expect perfection out of these guys. They're human. And then Iglesias, of course, comes in and just lights out in his save. By the way, this replay you're seeing here, we've
Beautiful
been telling
reload,
you how
man.
good Dubon is. Dubon has got a hose for an arm. This is an absolute perfect throw. And there's so many moments in this game that can save the game, but that back end of the bullpen was great. And I thought Walt did a good job of saving them. And there's nothing really to see there with Suarez. Just got a little off a little bit um,
Just
in
a
that
little bit.
game. We joked about it when we wrote, in the fact of he was going to the changeup, and once they started hitting it, he just had a hell with it and started throwing 101 miles an hour again. So I think Suarez learns, sometimes you got to throw that fastball. But you saw the Yastrzemski catch. He won't get the credit he deserves. He doesn't make that catch. This game really does get out of hand, and Walt may not use the back end of that bullpen to win the game. That was a heck of a catch by Yaz, and so many, like you said, so many moments got us into this game, didn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, you just saw one right there. It's another one. Look, Dom had the big hit late, but you know what? It's the second inning. You're down by 4. A big 2-out hit just to put you on the board. Get a little momentum in the dugout for the boys because you're down. You're down 4-0. You're feeling like crap, and then big Dom Smith just comes up with a big hit with 2 outs. I mean, it just gives you a little juice to keep going. It's
Yeah, It
So
just
many,
it's
so
just
many moments
amazing.
in this game. This was a
Yeah,
beautiful game.
yeah. It was really a team effort. It really shows that how they don't quit. That's something you've been seeing in this team all year long. They're really fighters. And Yaz doesn't really get the credit he deserves in this game. He makes the catch that saved 2 runs, and then he got the hit in front of Dom that continued that in. And Dom Smith don't even get to hit it. And we had talked about Fairbanks how to beat him, and the boys went to the game plan, and it
Yeah,
was
they did.
beautiful. It was
Yeah, they
beautiful to
did.
watch, and shoot, it was excellent. I mean, you can talk on it. We put it out how to beat Fairbanks, and it looked like a clinic in that eighth inning.
Yeah, so with Fairbanks, he added the new cutter, right? So the cutter was going to be heavy usage inside the lefties, which he did. It's going to be heavy usage away to righties, which he did. And the guys literally said, you know what, we got to see something out over the outside part of the plate because it's probably going to be the cutter coming into lefties or it's going to be away going to righties. And they did. And he hung it multiple times, as I said he would, because he just doesn't have quite the command that he needs at that pitch yet. And the boys made him pay late in the game. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it was awesome, and the Smith at bat that wins the game is beautiful. And so Dom gets up in the game, and he can see everybody ahead of him is really starting to show him he cannot get them out inside. So what Dom does is Dom goes up and decides, okay, he can't get me. He can't strike me out. So I'm going to foul off pitch after pitch after
Pitch after
pitch till he
pitch.
makes a mistake, and he hangs this slider, and Dom just does not miss it. It's just one of the most beautiful at bats you've seen all year. And as we heard from other people, maybe we need to start thinking about a Dominic Smith statue if they win the
Yes, we do.
2026 World
My
Series.
gosh, he is
Yeah,
he's been probably one of my favorite stories to talk about this year, man. And for I mean, I know he had the rough start in spring with his mother passing and all, but like the adjustments he's made in his career and what he is doing right now, you don't see many players at the back end of their career make because they just haven't made them. And he's made so many nice adjustments. He's got a really good approach at the plate. I know a chipper talks about it all the time, man. Approach might be more important for mechanics because your approach can dictate your mechanics, especially if you have a bad approach. And these guys have really honed in on their approach this year, and it's showing. Dom Smith's got a great one right now, and he is just absolutely raking right now, and I love watching him hit. Probably my favorite hitter to watch right now, if I'm being honest.
yeah. One of the things he does well more than anybody, he can hit that ball over shortstop's head like Freddie used to. It's a beautiful thing. The last thing in this game, we're going to give some love to Rossiel. He got his 100th save as an Atlanta Brave. One of the guys that a lot of people on Twitter follow is a guy named Beans, and he pointed out that today that I didn't realize that he hadn't had 35 saves yet for the Braves. Yes, I agree with Beans on that. I think he will go over 35 saves this year. I think he's going to have that kind of year. He looks great for April, and we know that Rossiel is more of a better second half pitcher as the first half pitcher. So, what do you think? You think Rossiel is going to finally get to the 35 and maybe more this year?
Well, it depends if the offense leaves him enough room to get saves.
Offense, yeah, that's true.
So yes, I want him to get to 35. If he has the opportunities, I think he definitely will. But at the same point, if the offense keeps on, doing their thing, I don't want him to get to 35 saves because I want the offense to keep on mashing the dang crap out of the baseball like they've been. Overall, I think in a normal year, he's going to get 35.
Yeah, I think he's going to get. I think Walt does a great job of how he manages the bullpen. I think about it. The reason these guys were so fresh the last 2 games is because he didn't use that back end for 5 games, so he knows
A
when
week.
to do it. And we're going to try to not do the hate thing and all that stuff, but I can honestly talk because being close, but Stitt sometimes would jump a guy in there just because he hadn't worked 3 or 4 days, and I used to always disagree with that. And I'm glad that Walt doesn't do that. So um, I think he'll get us there. So we tie the series 1-1, got a chance to win it, and we go to Game 3, and we know Chris Sale's our ace. But dadgum, if Big Texas ain't looking like the better pitcher right now, what do you think about Big Texas shoving again? And he said, Walt said at the end of the game, he was going to let him go. He just thought the matchup, he wanted them to pinch hit and do all that stuff. Walt was really managing well in that game. And he didn't pull Elder because he didn't think Elder could get the out. He just did it for other reasons. And give you a stat, Ryan, before you talk about how great Big Texas is. ERA now sits at 0.77 on the year. So Big Texas has really grown into that. After that talk with Greg Maddox, it looked like something's hit, and he looks great so far.
Yeah, man, the cutter usage, right? Like I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. I know everybody's heard about the cutter, but like the way he is now using it effectively to lefties, he's using it effective to righties now, and you got the sinker going inside to righties and away from lefties. It just opens up so many more tunnels because he can get somebody going into him both ways, lefty or righty, and that gets him off the slider that's going to drop below the zone now. That's why you're seeing the slider being so much more effective for Big Texas because they can't just sit on it anymore. He's got more than one tunnel that they got to cover. He's look. I'm not. I don't want to put the weight on him as being as an ace, but let me tell you, when Big Texas Day comes around, Ken, I look forward to it because I feel like we got a really good chance to win. And we couldn't say that a couple of years for Big Texas, but he's turned into a really solid pitcher, man. And he's a legit pitcher, not a thrower, a pitcher.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about the definitely the first four. I think Sell gives you everything he's got. Elder looks good. Raylo shows me a lot. I'm not really worried about Grant either. I agree with Walt and that Grant. It just was probably time for Grant to have an off night a little bit because he probably was a little tired. And everybody got to remember him and Lopez are coming off some sort of injury. So our scoring, this offense just rakes. I mean, they hit the ball. They're able to score without home runs. Don Smith and Drake and Mauricio and Michael and all them, they hit the ball around the ballpark. But the good sign was Ozzie hit another left-handed home run, and Riley got his first home run of the year. And you could just see him going around first base like a big relief. So I'm like you. I think we're fixing to see the best of Austin Riley. And then Matt missed a couple early in the game. Well, he didn't miss the last time. He absolutely murdered one up into the chop house. Uh, I tell you what, we start hitting home runs like that, it's going to be tough for other teams, don't you think, Ron?
Yeah, especially when the guy that you just saw strike out, if you're on YouTube, really figures it out. Once he really gets that little tweak that he's got to make, and it's not a big one. It's a little tweak that he makes just to get him on time a little bit better. He's this offense is going to go to another level of scary because when that dude steps in the box, it's not going to be like, oh, we can attack this hole now. No, it's going to be you better be on red alert from pitch number one. It's like I keep harping on it, man. The approach has just gotten so much better for all these guys in this order. I mean, last year it felt like they were an all or nothing team. This year, they're taking their hacks 0-1, with two before they get to two strikes. Two strikes, they're locking down. They're looking for that ball in the zone. They're fouling pitches off. They're fighting. They're clawing, and then they finally get one and they don't miss it. It's been really fun to watch this offense. I can actually enjoy watching Braves baseball again, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, I don't ever feel like it's back to a couple years ago where I don't ever feel like we're out of a game. I
Yep.
think we can always get back in the game, and like I said, I think Walt's managing it very well. The one kind of weird thing was Beto come in and we were way up, and he pitched so well, and the old Beto showed up and was pretty bad. They ended up DFAing. They're going to bring up Ian Hamilton to give him a shot. But what happened after that is then the boys come back in and they slam the door again, and Iglesias is just absolute nails. What are your thoughts about, you know, again, we're not going to try to keep harking on that back end, but they got to find something. What do you think about Ian Hamilton coming up and Beto going down?
Look, I understand Beto's got a track record of being bad. I'm not denying that, but Beto was pretty daggum solid, and I think, like I said, I don't think it should have been him that was DFA'd. I really don't. I think it should have been a guy making $9 million because he sucks. But at the same point in time, you can understand why Beto's gone. I hope Ian can come up and solidify that, the front end of the bullpen a little bit, the mop up role some. But can he? There's a reason why he was in AAA to start the year. There's a reason why. So we'll see if he's corrected some things and figured some things out. But me and you were discussing off the pod that, there are other solutions that don't involve just strictly relievers. There are two starting pitchers down there that could come up and pitch very effective innings in the rotation right now while you move the guy who's in the number 5 slot to that mop-up role right now. And I think that would be a really, you might really want to look into that because that could fix a lot of problems for this team.
Well, as it, you got Strider. Hopefully he's coming back. And then, J.R. Ritchie and Fuentes are throwing lights out. And like I said, Dylan Dodd, I think should be up here. I think that Hefner is doing worlds with him. And like you said, Martin Perez, I think, is the mop-up guy. He has that kind of makeup. And it just seems like, at the end of the day, when we get down toward Memorial Day, once they get everybody back and healthy, this is going to be a pretty it's going to be a hell of a team, to be honest with you. The 26, when you start getting, Kim and Murphy and all of them back, let's just see how Alex handles it. I'm curious because there's going to be, I know he wants a lot of depth. He wants to keep it. But I think this team, I know it's just 19 games in, but I can just tell you right now, talking to other baseball people across the country, a lot of people think this is a World Series contender as constructed right now. And with help coming, it'll be interesting how Alex handles it. And I think everybody's on the same page. The less we see of Suarez, Bummer, Beto, those kind of guys, I think the better this team's going to have a chance to hit those goals and maybe get us to a World Series and maybe win it. So you're spot on. I think Martin Perez is the guy that should go to the bullpen and be long relief. I think he has the makeup for it, and maybe all this moving with Perez, DFA and him and clearing waivers and stuff. It's just maybe all he's doing right now is just buying time till he can get everybody back. But I don't see anywhere after Memorial Day, if everybody's healthy, there's a place on this team for Bummer, Suarez, and that group. Do you?
I don't see a place for him right now, if I'm being honest with you, Ken. So absolutely not. I'm ready to DFA Aaron Bummer at the beginning of the season. Thank you.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, Ryan's done with Aaron Bummer. So we get a series. We win the series, 2 out of 3. Very good. So, well, we'll start with the play of the series. Um,
There's so many.
what is your play of the series?
Look, like we said, it's going to come from game 2, and there's about a half dozen of them in that game, but there's going to be one. There's only one correct answer, and it's going to be Dom Smith in the bottom of the 8th with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he just hits an absolute laser into the gap to win the game. That is my play of the game, Ken. Or play of the series, rather. How about you?
I'm going to disagree because I don't think we get there without Raylo bucking down. I've really debated
Agree.
this. I think Raylo is the play of the series. It's not really a play. It's just the way he could have, that team could have got really screwy. I thought it in the second inning. He'd lost all his confidence too.
Yep.
And he went in there and whatever Jeremy said to him and Drake said to him and Eddie, he come out a different man. And I think without those 3 innings, we would have lost this series. And so I'm going to give it to Raylo. But Dom definitely, that's the one that everybody will remember. But again, like we said, nobody's going to remember Yaz's great catch and his great at bat to get to Dom, things like that. But definitely minutes. So I'll go ahead and do my MVP next, first, and that's where I'm going to take Dom Smith. I think Dom Smith is the MVP of the series because all series he got big hit after big hit, and without Dom Smith, we don't have a winning series as well. So I wanted to kind of give both of them love because I think those two are the reason we won the series or put us over the top. Because the things that Matt did and stuff did, that's a takeaway from Matt. But Matt, Matt and expect Matt to do what he did. But Reynaldo, what he did and what Don did, and Dominic Smith is becoming quickly one of the Braves country's favorite Braves. And so I think he deserves all the love he gets. And hopefully we'll keep working hard on this podcast. And if y'all keep supporting us, maybe we'll get Don Smith on this podcast one day. So, and get him to talk about, how to deal with that, how to deal with the loss of somebody like your mom and to have the year he's having. So it's just amazing. So that's my MVP of the series. What about you, Ryan?
I mean, again, there's only one correct answer. Now, look, there's multiple plays of the series. My God, game two was full and it was a great game. But Dom Smith, when you go 5 for 11 and you're driving 5 RBIs in the series, you got yourself a series MVP, man. You were, you were the straw that stirred the drink this series, no doubt about it. Especially offensively, you're the one who just kept on energizing the offense and came up with the big hits, man. I haven't seen anybody this clutch for the Atlanta Braves in 2 years, Ken. It's been absolutely fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is. It's a good thing, and it's good to know that when we get these other guys back, you got that veteran presence, and he's going to make Walt think about the DH and all that stuff. So, as we said, that's a good problem. Walt wants that.
Good
Walt
problem.
wants all 13 guys to be contributing, and a couple of them being their, butts kind of hung low because they're upset because they're not playing. That means everybody's playing well. So I think that's what we're going to get. So, all right, to wrap up the series, 2 out of 3. You got anything else to add before we move on and look at our arch rivals?
DFA Aaron Bummer. Thank you. Chad, I haven't disliked a player on the Braves like this since Orlando Arcia in 24, and that is saying something.
There you go. So, if AA, if you're listening, Mr. Ryan would like Aaron Bummer DFA. So we take 2 out of 3, and we're sitting 12-7. 3 games up in the division. The division is kind of struggling, but the thing about the division is they're all together. They're all together. The whole division.
Just beating
The
the
Met,
piss
the
out of all
Met.
of them.
I love to say this part. The Mets are in last. That sounds so
God,
good.
Ken, they look so bad.
They look terrible.
They look bad.
And usually, if I'm a Mets fan, I'm worried because the Mets normally are a fast starter, slow. So we'll see how this year goes. So we'll see. But the one team in the division that has that championship pedigree, we get to go to Philly. So before we get into who we're going to face, this is a chance for the Braves to really stand up. They're hurting. They're walking around. This is my begging. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, Matt, Ronnie, Austin, the whole team, Drake, Walt. Don't let this off the hook. Don't let them off the hook. Look, we're going to lose a series this year. Correct. We're going to lose one. We know that. Let's not make it now. Let's not let them back off the hook because they're a hurt dog. Let's kick them while they're down. Take 2 out of 3 up there. What are your feelings about that going into the series?
Well, I'm going to cuss. Kick the shit out of them while you can. Kick the shit out of them while you can, because if you let them get away and you let them get a little bit of confidence rolling into the season, that's all it's going to take for this to be a big rivalry. But if you kick the shit out of them now, you win 2 out of 3, or even better, if you sweep them and you put them 6 back in the column, they hurt for the rest of the year. This is a chance you can go into Philly and just wear them down. So go in and wear them down. Go in with that attitude of we don't give a you know what, and we're going to beat the crap out of you until you're begging us to leave your ballpark.
Yeah, you got to, and the pitching matchups kind of line up for us. Not that we're favored on because we're going to throw our 5 in Martine. They're going to throw their 5 in Taiwan Walker. It should be a hitter's game. We need Martine to do what he can do, and that's go 5 innings, 3 runs, get off of there. Offense has got to produce. Join us on Bray's Hip Coil. We're going to break it down. We should hit this guy. Should hit this guy. Then game 2, the 2 aces matchup. Sale against Christopher Sanchez. If you haven't a chance to see Christopher Sanchez pitch, you're missing it. He is a great arm and a good pitcher. This should be a heck of a game. And then we have another Sunday night game, and we're going to get one of their young studs coming, Mr. Painter, and he goes against Grant Holmes. And I expect Grant to really buckle down Sunday night, national TV. They're going to probably play that clip over and over where he kind of said, I don't know why I got pulled. It's going to be a good chance for Grant to prove himself. So, what do you think about the pitching matchups going into this weekend?
I think they're even. Look, I expect to win game one. I don't think there's a question about it. Taiwan Walker might be the worst pitcher in the national starting pitcher in the National League right now, and that's up for debate. Game two, it's a flip of the coin. You got ace versus ace. Whose ace is going to be better? That's basically what game two is going to come down to. And then you got game three. We know Grant could be really good. Is Grant going to be really good? But Painter has showed that he is really good early on, and the guys haven't seen him yet. So that's going to be adjustment period as well. So it's not going to be just a rollover series where we can win. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a good bit of effort, and it's going to grind.
I agree. We just cannot lose game one because we lose game one, and I think we'd lose in series. And the one thing we don't want to happen this weekend is go up there and get swept. So Philly's going to also, when you got a team down, it's got hurt like they are, they're going to give us their best shot. They also had a day off today, as we did. So their whole bullpen's going to be ready to go. They've got two really good relief pitchers and a bunch of ugh. Their two good relief pitchers are Alvarado and Duran. As we said in the Cleveland series, if you listen, you knew, and it turned out exactly that way. Same goes here. We don't want to see Duran. If we see Duran, game's over. And so they've got two guys. Our offense has to get the lead by the seventh inning, or we're going to be in kind of tough situation. Now, Alvarado can help you sometimes with walks, but with that said, we want to win the game by the seventh inning, don't we, Ryan?
Yeah, I could go through the entire series and not see Johan Duran and be perfectly happy about that.
Yeah. All right. So, who do you think? Who's your pick to click for this series?
Big, thick Austin Riley. He is going to be
Okay.
my pick to click. He looks really good at the plate. He's got a really good approach. He looks locked in. I like Austin in the series, and I think he does pretty well in Philly and against the Phillies. So I'm going big thick.
I like that. And y'all on Braves Hip Core, we always pick a hitter, but on this, it can be anybody. I'm going to go with a pitcher. I think we need Chris Sale to be his ace Saturday night for us to win game two. So that's my pick. I think he loves these moments. If y'all remember a few moments in the past where he's faced up against an ace on the other team, he cherishes those, and I expect Chris to have a big game. And I think that we can beat Christopher Sanchez, and that'll be the pivotal game for us winning the series. And because let's face it, Sunday night in Philly, we don't fare pretty well. They're going to throw Mr. Painter and join Bray's hip coil because we're going to break Mr. Painter down, and he's a tough ride. As we told you, Parker Messick was going to be a tough ride, and he was. Andrew Painter is going to be tougher than Parker Messick. So, all right, so Phillies, what are we going to do here in this series? We're going to lose all three, win one, win two, or win all three.
You're gonna win 2 out of 3. I think. Look, I think game one. If we don't win, we got a good chance of being swept, just because of how good those two guys can be. But I think we're gonna win game one, and I think we're gonna pull out either game two or game three. 2 out of 3.
I agree. And then we're going to win 2 out of 3. And we just need both Sell and Holmes, Grant and Chris to pitch really well. And if they pitch really well, I think we'll seal one of them and get out of 2 out of 3 out of there. So let's do it. Let's go get it. So before we get out of here tonight, and we're going to tell you, we're going to tease it a little while, and this podcast come out. Brian Snicker is going to get inducted to the Braves Hall of Fame. And on April 25th, Saturday night, Phillies, we're going to have a huge ceremony And you know what we're going to do, Ryan? We're going to give away 2 tickets and a parking pass to a Braves fan to this game. Before we tell you how to do that, what do you think about Brian going into the Braves Hall of Fame, Ryan?
Beyond well deserved. You won. You got what 7 straight appearances in the postseason. You had 6 of them being division championships. You brought a World Series back to Atlanta that hasn't been done and since '95. Yeah, it was well deserved, and he spent 50 freaking years in the organization. Yeah, it's very well due for Brian, and I'm excited for him because that's going to be a really good night for him.
Yeah, I'm excited for him and Ronnie and the whole family, and I'm sure he is really excited. And he's a humble guy, so it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts on that night. So somebody's going to be able to go, and how we're going to do that is easy. On this podcast, when we put this podcast out, if you quote tweet it on X, if you share it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you have to do to get the word out, when you put hashtag SNIT, hashtag hardcore Braves in your quote or share, and some of y'all are already doing it today, which I appreciate the eagerness, but it has to be on this podcast. You do on this podcast, you're entering in the contest, and we're going to draw the winner on our Sunday show, Phillies wrap up show. So this Sunday, so you're going to have 3 whole days to get it in. And yes, if you share it, I'm talking to you, Daniel. If you share it on Twitter and you share it on Facebook and you share it on Instagram and you share it on TikTok, yes, you're in 4 times. So you share it on all of them, join all the media. We're doing well. We don't want to get into it. Me and Ryan's been talking back and forth. We already got some names. Only a podcast for about 3 weeks now, Ryan, and we got some names coming. It's already talked to us about coming on. You excited about that?
I'm very excited for that. How could you not be excited for that? Also, chat, if you're even questioning about the tickets and whether you not or not want to enter, number one, you should because it's SNIT induction day, and number two, I encourage you to go look at the prices of those tickets. You might think twice before trying to purchase them. So, give it a shout out, enter the sweepstakes. Chance to win free tickets.
That's right. You got at least Monday morning. Don't buy them yet. You might get them free. 2 tickets and a parking pass. So that's all we got. We do appreciate you. Remember, follow us on all social platforms, all across YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Apple, Facebook, Instagram, and of course on Twitter. We appreciate it. That is Braves Homer 27. I'm Boyd PC15. Weave's not here today. It's Weave underscore cards. Aaron on deck. All 4 of us. Yes, guys, Aaron's going to be coming, and Ben's coming back. I know you're probably getting tired of me and Ryan, but they're coming. So they'll be back soon. And but we love you, Braves country, and as always, peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.